Hello beautifuls, welcome back to my Chanel and welcome to another episode of ASBO Teen to Beauty Queen.
I'm so happy.
This show, my lovelies, this show has caused quite a lot of discourse in the comments, and I'll get to that in a minute because I did in fact promise that I would do the next video in my most fabulous tracksuit. And you know what? This is the closest thing that I currently own to a tracksuit. So are you ready for a fashion moment?
I just don't know anymore.
You better work that purse. I am wearing a Manière d'Ivoire cropped leather and jersey hoodie teamed with Bershka imitation leather camo pants. The silver zip down fly on the pants matches the little silver decal on the back of the Manière d'Ivoire hoodie. I in fact have no idea if you can see it in this footage because it's tiny. It's like a tiny little, what do you even call it? A bijou filigree. There she is. Do you see her? There she is.
Beautiful.
For this specific outfit, if I'm teaming it down for something a little bit more casual day wear, I will wear it with my Steve Madden sock trainers. These are the Master Edition. I think it's Edition. I think that's what they're called. Master version? Master. And if I want to pump the look up to make it a bit more high impact, I will team it with these Steve Madden boots. And I think it takes it a little bit more from casual wear to tech streetwear. I actually love a little bit of a Steve Madden shoe because they do sensible sizes for a woman with a little bit extra, shall we say.
Cancelled!
That's the first time I've ever really done any fashion content here on the Chanel in a very long time. But if you want more like macabre, dark fashion and a little bit of my travel lifestyle, follow me over on Instagram. It is xxluxeria. Right, let's get back to ASBO Teen, shall we, Biscuit? Are you my little blonde ASBO boy?
Yes, yes.
My goodness me, do we have a lot to talk about ASBO Teen to Beauty Queen, my lovelies. So, in the nicest possible way, I think some people are confused. The word chav does not mean council housed and violent. That is a piece of retconned information that sort of arose in the late 2000s. When I was leaving Brighton to move to London is when people started using that word. We had the word chav a lot longer before then. The word chav actually comes from the longer word shava or chava, and it actually comes from Slavic slang meaning like problem boy, difficult boy. This word started to happen when I was at school. So it started to emerge in popular use around 2000 or 2001. The predecessors to chavs were known as townies. Now, we used this word when I was in like primary school, just going into high school. And then the word chav kind of took over when I was in year 8 and year 9. That was around about 2002, 2003.
She's educated.
But then the word townie kind of took its own little like adventure in the fashion world. It actually became someone who was a little bit more trendy, a little bit more like H&M kind of style person who would wear lots of high street brands that were very like calm and collective and cool together, whereas chav kind of took on this route of like very specific intense streetwear, sometimes associated with knockoff brands, and then further down the line it became associated with negative social behavior such as the ASBO. So when I personally think of the word chav, I do not think that it is a slur, and that's what I'm going to leave my piece of the conversation as, my lovelies. And if you want to disagree with that, that is absolutely fine. You are free to do so, my lovelies. With that being said, my loves, are you ready for another episode of ASBO Teen to Beauty Queen? I know it's not a hugely festive episode of anything, shall we say, but she does have a Christmas tree. Thank you, Novimpia. Gosh, so much happened in the last episode. I don't even know really where to begin with some sort of like breakdown of what even happened. So shall we have a top comment from the last episode, shall we, my love? One of the top comments from the last episode is by Damon Walker 5260, and they say, I went to school with Laura. Yes, she was rough around the edges, but when I was getting bullied, she was the only person to stand up for me. Just thought I'd add this little nugget. I hope she's doing well now. And I absolutely want to say that if you somehow made friends with like the group of rough round the edges girls, they would protect you like there was no tomorrow. They were fierce friends and fierce allies. Just because this show kind of paints them in a way of like being from underdeveloped areas, perhaps being a little bit on the edge of have to do anything they need to survive, I can understand that if you're a victim of an attack from one of these girls, then obviously you're not really going to enjoy their development, shall we say. But if you were friends with one of these girls who was perhaps of this kind of persuasion, they were fiercely loyal and fiercely defensive of you. I remember seeing this explicitly in school. So when I was in school, I was a goth person, to the surprise of no one. This was just as MySpace was emerging. I would get bullied in school by groups of chavs, by groups of people that would wear lots of sportswear but not really do sports, but also then be from perhaps difficult backgrounds, and they would take it out on us because we all looked different. Occasionally, there would be one of the chavvy boys or one of the chavvy girls really sticking up for us, turning to their friends sometimes and being like, it is wrong what you are doing to those people. And I'm still to this day kind of surprised and enlightened by that, because they are sometimes the most ferocious allies you will ever have in this world. So, get your beverage at the ready. Today I'm on the Monster Ultra Rosa, my lovelies, because she's what? An ASBO teen. Pop your hanger right into your little pageant hole and let's watch ASBO Teen to Beauty Queen, episode 2. I have had to change out of my tracksuit because it is just too hot in here today, my lovelies, but keeping up with the sports theme.
This week, Michelle gets even tougher.
Oh, look at her. Sorry, she's got her pussy out on Oxford Street. What's this? This week, she's on the game. Oh, it won't be Oxford Street, will it? It'll be in Manchester. What's the only road I know? Canal Street. Although this outfit would probably be very well received on Canal Street.
Please, these gays.
This week, Michelle gets even tougher.
Tougher, Gales. She's gonna
Why
beat
are you
them.
looking at each other?
Why is the volume so loud? Can we just turn it down? Oh my gosh, that lady looks a bit like the Ghost Whisperer.
Why are you looking at each other and laughing? This is a competition.
The girl's prepared to champion a cause and promote it before a critical audience.
Oh, no, not Duncan Ballantyne.
Pause and promote it before a critical...
From Dragon's Den, but also very transphobic. Oh, okay. Rachel girls. Laura. Pavia. Ellen. Nisha. We haven't met her yet. Ashley. Have we met Ashley yet either? No, I don't think we have. Kerry girls. We sort of met Kerry. Oh, Sarah. She did leave us already. Yes. Elena girls. Eleanor even. Do you know, I always get confused between the pronunciation and the spelling of Elena, Eleanor, and Eliana. Because they're all spelt very differently, but they sound very similar. And it's one of those words that I'm like, what? What? Tearaway teen to Beauty Queen. I used to be beautiful once. Oh.
In America, beauty pageants are big business. Every year, thousands of girls compete to win state, national, and international titles, vying not only to be crowned beauty queens, but to win prizes worth thousands of...
Oh, what's a pretty little doggy, Mr. Biscuit. I must say, when I posted the last pageant video, I did get a few DMs being like, there is a pageant culture in the UK. And I was like, you're right, there is, because I was going to enter a pageant. My life has taken a severely different turn now, which I haven't actually announced yet on the internet, but stay tuned, my loves.
There's always secrets and lies.
I just meant that it's not ingrained in us from like a young age growing up. I guess if you're in that particular pageant scene, I guess probably it is. But in the wider scheme of things, like we don't have pageants at schools and things like that. Whereas I feel like in America, I quite often see schools entering pageants and things like this. So that's all I meant by that. A harmless quip, my lovelies.
Electric chair.
The most prestigious American pageant is the Miss Teen International Contest held in Chicago, Illinois. It's all about family values and squeaky clean feminine virtue. However, to succeed in this pageant, good looks are not...
I love the fact that, like, feminine virtue. Oh, mummy's little feminine virtue. Get your mimsy out.
What did you just say?
I sort of hate this concept that's so, like, femininity needs to be, like, fluffy and delicate and, like, oh, it can't cope without being virtuous. It's like, no, the femininity that I like to embody is the kind of destructive femininity that's like, you wronged me, I shall scorch the earth. That's the kind of femininity I like. The divine femininity that is a bit frightening. I love it.
A beauty queen must impress in ball gowns, sportswear and fun fashion. But crucially, she must also be an eloquent
Can't forget her gloves.
spokesperson for a charitable cause.
Right.
Well, Tales of Independence is my platform, and it's in conjunction with a group called the Hearing and Service Dogs of Minnesota.
If you believe in someone and give them the confidence, then they know how to be responsible. They have something to be responsible for.
I must say, I like seeing something so bizarre become quite charitable at its essence, because I know that in America, some of your pageants have like scholarships associated with them. So like perhaps girls from underprivileged backgrounds who can't perhaps afford like college scholarship or university degrees get it fully paid for by a pageant competition. That is wild to me. While I also see the problem of like all education should be free so that we all should get like the best outcome out of life, under this system that we currently exist in that hasn't really changed for a long time, it's quite magical to sort of see that there are ways to do it. But I guess also that's problematic because it's literally just like, how pretty are you? Do you deserve free school? The pageant girls!
I will partner with the
This reminds me very much of this lady.
I personally believe I will partner with the American Cancer Society to educate teens and their parents on the dangers of outdoor tanning and indoor tanning.
Okay.
The Americans might make it look easy, but across the
Probably quite relevant to a pageant
epicenter of
scene.
the ASBO, the English pageant contenders are also
ASBO!
no strangers to public speaking.
You're a f***ing muppet. So don't you
You're a muppet.
Just go back now, go for it, because you're so nice, you little
In addition to Laura's obvious vocal skills, this
Laura's
Manchester...
body language is very like, it's so defensive. I find it a little bit conflicting to provide commentary on these girls. All of them are under 18 except the one they say is over 18, which I think is Rachel. They said it in the last episode. So when I am critiquing these girls, I am in no way saying that they themselves are bad people. I feel like they can do bad things because of situations that they've been involved in, out of their control. I do also, however, think that burglarizing people is, no, we're not going to do that. You won't hear me on the channel being like, under some circumstances, burglary. No, we're not having all of that.
Oh, thank God.
I will say that a lot of Laura's body language, I'm not a body language expert, I'm not any of this, I just love science and I love like dissecting things that I can perceive. It seems like she's quite defensive, and then when someone attacks her, she almost like makes herself seem bigger so that she's less like a target or a victim, if you know what I mean. What's that phrase? Sometimes the best defense is a strong offense. I really see that with Laura.
Minx is also endowed with an ASBO. Her fellow team tearaways haven't equalled that, but between them, some of the girls can still muster 11 convictions, 4 reprimands and 2 police cautions.
Goodness me. Oh, look at her
And 2
sensible
police-
shoes! Sensible shoes in the construction site. What was this? A limousage?
However, one courageous woman
Oh,
has
here she is
accepted the
going, her
task of
lime.
transforming these Mancunian miscreants into potential beauty queens. Meet
Mancunian miscreants.
Michelle Bryant.
aka Mrs. International 2003.
Wow.
This week, Michelle
Wait.
will be...
That was 20 years ago. If she was like 40 here, which I must admit, there is a certain like era to the old pageant makeup looks and the way that they used to hold themselves that made them seem a lot older than they were. Like, this woman is in her early 40s. That means that she's like 8 years older than me. Does that surprise you that this woman is 8 years older than me? Because I know people 8 years younger than me, and I don't feel like I look that old compared to them. I think also it could be a case of like trends change throughout time. But if she's 42 there, shall we say, because this is 20 years later, she could potentially be like 62 now.
grooming the girls to take on
We're
a
not saying
crucial
grooming.
element of the pageant performance, what our
Installations.
American cousins call the platform. Many dread it,
Ooh,
but an
platform
aspiring
heel.
Miss Teen International
Oh,
must
look!
confront it. Public
Pageant
speaking.
outfits.
Because of the training and the challenges that we'll issue to them, they will acquire skills that will not only equip them to do well at Miss Teen International, but will just also equip them to do well in life.
I hope so, but America is
Hi,
very
girls.
different to England.
How's everybody doing? You guys feeling like beauty queens this morning?
How many bum hits does she have up there?
930. Okay, not all at once. Not everybody be so enthusiastic about it.
No one.
This week's challenge is pretty much completely opposite of what last week's was.
Oh, which was a fashion
What you may
styling.
not know about being a teen beauty queen is that it's really not about wearing a crown. And 40% of the score at Miss Teen International is based on selecting a cause that is really close to your heart, that you really would like to make a difference on behalf of, and then being a champion for that cause. So this week's challenge is going to be to think and speak like a beauty queen.
Okay,
We're getting ready to
this could actually be quite a helpful thing. Not necessarily just in case because it's all revolving around beauty, but like I highly doubt anyone has picked these girls out of their school and been like, this is how you speak publicly to address a group of people without feeling like your entire soul is gonna crumble in fear. I bet no one has done that for them. So this could be a skill that could transfer into so many different areas of life, not just career-wise, but also like inner confidence, self-esteem. So yes, while pageants are in this weird world of like, hey, you got to get ready for the pageant, girls, the pageant.
Only one will make it to the pageant, girls.
I can sort of see it from like, maybe, I don't know if this is stretching it, from a scientist point of view, that you can pick out certain skill sets that will transfer anywhere. Like perhaps instead of imagining like a room full of people clapping at you for wearing a nice pretty dress and talking about charity, you might be able to transfer that skill to talking to a boardroom of people to report your latest quarterly figures or some such equally ridiculous business talk.
show you guys a clip, and this is footage from Miss Teen International
Oh dear, here we go.
last year. And what you'll see is the girls that made the top 10 were brought out on stage one at a time, and they were asked a question about
Teenagers!
their platform.
Hello, Erin. How are you?
I don't know if this is perhaps an acceptable commentary moment, but this outfit reminds me a little bit of Monica Lewinsky.
Their platform.
Hello, Erin. How are you feeling just about now?
Absolutely wonderful.
Your platform is Amigos for Christ. As Miss Teen International, how will you promote this program in non-Christian communities?
As Miss Teen International, I will be the voice for Amigos for Christ by encouraging teens from not only Christian schools but also public schools to get involved with mission trips.
Okay, see, that to me is not like a beautiful charitable moment. That to me is like, join my religion, you need to. And we don't like that, do we? Because that's what? Pushing it down people's throats who perhaps don't really care.
Jesus was a bottom.
I have religious trauma, I can say that. I feel like that's a very different thing to say than like, I want to raise awareness and raise money for people who are suffering with skin cancer. It's very different to say, I think you should join my religion and we're gonna go on missions together to spread the word. What is the word?
Girls!
And I think that just taking one trip to a nursing
How
home...
does she get her hair to do this? I'm sorry, this vertical, like, floop. She got a tiny bump it at the end.
or a senior citizen home can make all the difference.
See,
You go
senior
once,
citizens.
You want to go as many times as you possibly can.
Thank you.
Okay. You know what I'm curious to find out about any of you is, have any of you ever done any type of volunteer work?
Free labour for capitalism.
People before.
That's something.
Did you cook Sunday dinners?
That's something.
Okay. So you guys just need to give this some thought. Really throw yourself into this. Really soul search and select something that you feel passionate about.
At the end of the week, the girls must answer searching questions on the issue they're promoting. Failure to convince could mean elimination.
You know, I'm not really sure that these girls have really ever had to work, really apply themselves. I think they're used to just kind of passing their time, hanging out with their friends, doing a lot of drinking, doing a lot of smoking.
Yes and no to that. I do kind of not really enjoy this aspect of like, nobody wants to work anymore. You have never had to work for anything. These girls are under 18. They're like 16, 17 perhaps, maybe even younger. We don't actually know. Coming from like very underprivileged backgrounds, they're having to work every single day at just staying alive. I feel like it's a very privileged to come in and say, you guys don't work. And it's like, what you consider like needing inner strength to do on a daily basis is different from what people from underprivileged backgrounds might have to think of what is needed on a daily basis. When I would go to school as a teenager and get bullied, my daily amount of like inner work and inner strength and like having to strive for something was to just in fact stay alive. So I find that a bit distasteful.
Doing a lot of drinking, doing a lot of smoking.
I like the blue in
Pretty
her hair.
confident about the task. I hope so anyway. I think it'll be alright, I don't think it'll be too bad.
I think it will be quite easy for me because I'm not shy, I can speak.
I'm
They've
not
played
sure
her
how
yawning
many of
8
these girls
times.
are
Like, she's
used
just
to really
yawning.
giving
Leave
of
it alone.
themselves and turning their focus outward. So it's really going to cause them to stretch. Hopefully, it will also help them grow.
Michelle's
That is
expecting
true, I will
real
give that.
commitment, and Nisha hasn't yet woken up to the fact.
Nisha, are you awake?
Yeah.
Sleeping on the job, girlfriend. You're gonna do well. There's gotta be no sleeping on the job. You got it? Okay, here we go. I think this week's challenge will be a trillion times more difficult for
Why haven't we met Nisha yet? We're like episode 2 and we still don't know anything about her.
these girls than last week's challenge was. It's going to be really interesting to see if they embrace it or if they...
Also, Pavia went to the ball. Went to her prom last week, didn't she? She got a free pass into this week, so eyes on you, Pavia.
They just
Will you make it to the
disengage
pageant?
from the whole experience.
Don't say whole.
Michelle Friet has introduced 8 aspiring beauty queens to their latest daunting challenge,
look at that
public
belt.
speaking. Success in this stage of their training
She
will
does a
take
lot of
real...
walking around with her hair bouncing, doesn't she? She's just like, I'm on the game and I'm on the go. I'm on the go and I'm on the game. I struggle to believe that she walked past that group of teenagers there and they wouldn't have said a single word to her. I struggle to believe.
dedication, and after Pavia's early departure last week, Michelle feels that this pageant pupil needs a gentle reminder of what's at stake.
Need to get her attitude in line and really just kind of have her evaluate why she's here, because she had some really naughty behavior this last week. She was not cooperative, she left early, so...
I'm not pissing the bottle.
Get her back in line.
Right, okay.
Part of why I'm here is just to really make sure that we had a little bit of an attitude adjustment.
Would you like some salt in your tea?
You to know that when I first met you girls, I mean, you really stood out to me.
Okay.
And then as the week progressed, I just got a little bit disturbed, a little disappointed when you left early.
I had to leave on that day.
Disturbed.
And it really made me wonder about your commitment. It made me think, gosh, does she really want to...
Okay, they're really leaning into this a bit much, aren't they? Like, she explained last time that, like, the prom is, like, the big final thing at the end of year, and then they let her go, so you can't be like, no, actually, we're gonna continue to grill you about this thing that we've already solved. Like, that just seems a bit like, are you lacking for content right here?
do this?
Felt like I really couldn't be bothered.
That was very evident in how you were behaving. There was some
Not be bothered.
unladylike behavior going on. Pretty is as pretty does. So going forward, that's part of the behavior that is not acceptable, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Right, what does that mean? It's music. It's very like platform game from the 90s.
Voting a cause and answering questions about it.
Donald Duck, Maui Mallard.
They have to find something they can champion.
What I
Google!
want to do, yeah, is children heading towards gangs, yeah, and gun, whatever, yeah, because I think
Excellent
that is
cause.
more special for me, yeah, because I know loads of kids are like 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds that are repping crews now, you get me. I had a couple of ideas about the task, but the one I picked, anger management, I picked that because I've had it in the past, and just to help other people with it would be good, because I know I've got through it, you know, in the past, and just I've got through it. It's over. If people say that I've done it in the past and, you know, dealt with it, then they'll be able to deal with it.
And just think, earlier the model lady came in and said, these girls have never had to work. Each one of these girls has a reason why they're in the place that they are, and they've probably had to work very, very, very hard at just existing. So I think it's very wrong to be like, well, none of you have ever had to work, just because you consider the work to be different. Not every single piece of work needs monetary value.
That's what I mean. I've got to go places, in it, like youth clubs and all that, in it. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find out if there is a charity about, not a charity, or if there is something that's based on
a
that.
community action.
So then I can say, well, I went to this place and there's like 2.2 people that are looking to... Yeah, I know what you mean. That means I'm gonna have to crack right on it. Oh no.
A is for available.
It's like I'm back in school, this.
With no time to waste, the girls set out on individual missions to research charitable causes for their
say something,
platform
Scar.
speech.
Right,
Hello.
Are you going to work hard then today?
Yep.
Good luck.
She's got her Capri Sun
See you later.
and her Jojo Siwa hair. which was very popular when I was back in school. The girls would glue their hair back right up into the tightest ponytail you've ever seen. And that was very much a staple of this kind of streetwear style at the time.
Yeah, I think she's going to work hard, actually. I do really think she's going to work hard. Yeah,
everyone's got
try.
gold hoops.
I hope.
The bigger the hoop, the bigger the hoe. What's Carol been up to?
Street mission. So you okay?
Hello, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Hello, Jason Voorhees.
I'm Joseph. This platform cause and how you answer a question as well as your interview skills
That is the most terrifying shot I've ever seen of a person being interviewed for a confessional.
how you answer a question as well as your interview skills comprise 40% of the score at Miss Teen International. It's important to remember that whoever wins Miss Teen International, that's what she spends the remainder of her time doing.
Dinner time's 12:30. It's before
That's tea.
Mash and potatoes. I'll get your name. Doing mash, that okay?
This week I want to impress Michelle because last week she said it was a bit disappointing for her. So I'm going to make up to her this week.
Okay.
I've got some information here for you about Wood Street Mission.
Brilliant.
To give you some background, I'll just give you a quick overview.
I've read a lot on it and I am working hard on it. I do want to get as much information as I can to basically give better answers to the questions that are given.
Put your feet on the plate, sit yourself back into it.
Ooh.
Okay?
Doing the YMCA, disabled children. I was struggling to come up with something exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do children, but I didn't know what exactly to do with children.
So I just want to know more information, what you do previously with meeting police officers and that. It's not like I've ever got to speak to them properly.
I just want to say I really enjoy this little quiff here with the two little partings. That is a cute little thing. If I didn't have such a gauche forehead, I would do the same. I also want to say, don't like police.
It's always been gripping my arm and throwing me in a cell.
Yeah, I've had negative experiences with British police.
The thing about the platform is that you have got to take ownership of this cause that you've chosen to champion.
This is a good episode.
It has to mean something to you. So the girl that might actually rise to the top possibly could not even be the one that's
America's
the most
Next Top ASBO?
up on the statistics and knows the facts the best. It might be the girl who is the most sincere.
Oh. Quite sweet.
So how sincere is Nisha's devotion
All
to
right,
the
here we go. We're going to
task
meet
ahead?
Nisha.
So what have you been up to? Nothing, just hanging out today?
Oh dear.
Have you done any work on your platform at all? Oh, shoot.
No. We're going to start today.
We're going to start today. I'm really worried about Nisha. It's like I keep hearing these rumors from the other girls that she has this little sparkly personality and she loves to talk and put herself out there, but I've seen absolutely zero of it.
It might be that
Tell
she's
me why
really
you were
shy.
hiding under your coat yesterday almost the whole day. I want to hear about this. Every time I saw you, you were hiding under your hood and had it pulled over. What's the deal? You were sleeping on the job, girlfriend. What was up with that?
I was tired from the night before.
I don't know. I'm just so frustrated with her. I'm just if there's a personality in there, and if she can talk, she's just keeping a secret from me.
Yeah,
when I asked
because
you what
you're
you've
a
been doing,
stranger.
you said nothing. But then when I've asked you how much work you've done on your platform, you said nothing. So, what does that mean?
I need to work on it.
That you need to get some work done. It's all up to you.
Me standing up and speaking in public, I am so shy and
There you go.
I feel nervous.
I don't know why, but there is definitely an attitude here from American beauty queen who can already speak in public, coming and speaking to shy teenagers who've gone through a lot. I was a shy teenager who went through a lot, and I could not at that point in my life stand up and talk in front of people. I just could not do it. Painful stage fright. And now I know that it's a combination of A, being trans, B, having ADHD, maybe even some other form of neurodivergence that I'm not even aware of yet, that would create this intense sensation in my body that was reject doing any of this. So to say I'm frustrated with you, you're not giving me anything, is Okay, but now it's your job to, like, pry that out of someone who's not a fully well-rounded human yet. She's just said she's shy, and shy is like an umbrella term for so many different things. Some of them medical and some of them not.
Stage fright and everything. I need to build up my confidence. If I get through this week, I think I'll have a bit more faith in myself, and I need to just work on things. That's what I really need to do.
She might have also felt a little bit shy talking then on that basketball, like, pitch thing, because there was, like, did you see loads of people in the background? Loads of maybe friends, maybe, like, local community people she's not friends with, like, all dotted around. Maybe she didn't want to let her personality shine, because sometimes when you let your personality shine, it's kind of saying, like, look at me, and sometimes in these situations, you do not want anyone looking at you. New York girls!
Stateside, the first Miss Teen England International will face intense competition, and nowhere more so than during the public speaking round.
Right,
because American contestants are dead.
Sell me a bumpet.
I've been training for pageants probably since I was about 5.
There you go, so she's already got like 13
when I
years.
first did my first pageant, and I've done 21 pageants so far.
I've been training for the last 6 months before this.
Are there even 21 different types of pageants? That means she's been doing more than one per year for like ages if she's still a teenager. She's got a B-Tech!
Prepared and ready for this pageant.
In my everyday life, I work with children, and I try to influence them.
Allied with the USA Freedom Corps, which is...
I did not expect her voice to sound like that, which is something everyone says on my channel.
Allied with the USA Freedom Corps, which is an organization that helps spread the word about volunteering.
My goal is to really inform and educate teens on staying abstinent until marriage.
If you've never spent
we're not doing that.
a week with 2,000 drug-free kids, you will know that there's no cool party like a drug-free party, because a drug-free party don't stop.
Oh, cultural difference here. What's really funny is I met 27 Travels when I went to New York last week, me and Callum. We went to meet some of Callum's friends called Gabby and Shanna of 27 Travels. They do Vlogmas here on YouTube, and they're lesbians and they travel across the world. They said that they were going to a Dolphins game, and they gave me and Callum like a little song about like how good like the team is, and it's so interesting hearing the difference between like American sportsmanship and British sportsmanship, because American like cheers are all like, let's go team, we're having a great time, oh yes, whereas I grew up in Brighton and the football chant was, we can see you holding hands, we can see you holding hands.
Only one will make it to the pageant, girls.
And unfortunately, there is also a really, really horrific chant about AIDS, which I shall not be mentioning here on the Chanel. So when I, for example, see American culture like that, where it's like, go team, there's no party like a drug-free party, here we would be like, no. Fundamental difference between America roots for the underdog and I feel like Britain kind of roots for difficulties. Oh, what is it? Gluttons for punishment.
Back in Blighty, the girls have little idea what might face them in Chicago.
Also, the word blighty comes from the word blight, which is also a reference to Britain, so that should tell you everything about how British people feel about this country. Even though they're like, best country in the world, but it's also shit.
But they do know their public speaking challenge is just 2 days away. All too aware of this, Avia's working
Will
overtime.
You give to my children's charity?
Will you buy a band for Francis House Children's Hospice, please?
Oh, they set that up as if. You'd be like, get away, stop talking to me.
Oh, excuse me, do you buy... Sorry.
Avon lady.
Thanks. Selling wristbands for Francis House to help raise some money for the charity, and this week I'm trying extra hard, and I hope it will pay off.
Well, there you go.
At the end of this week.
A selfless act can teach you a lot about yourself, I will give you that. So earlier this year, before Mr. Biscuits came into my life, I did a charity stream to raise money for the Dogs Trust, which was something so near and dear to my heart because they literally look after like poor unfortunate doggies. And we managed to raise like £700 and it was such a like invigorating, exciting day. I'm really into that. We should absolutely do that again. I think in January, we're gonna pick a cause and raise some funds.
Have a seat.
Laura's preparing for her platform by seeking advice from anger management counsellor Jeannie Horsfield.
Jeannie!
Why anger management? What is it that why have you chosen that subject?
Because I've experienced it in the past and I've learned to deal with it. I still get angry and everything, but not like I used to. I used to get really angry and just blow up straight away.
You know, and that's, it's great that you actually stepped back, you became aware and you took action. Yeah, you had that.
What does that thing say? Exploding! Goodness.
Wake up call, yeah? Clearly anger's been an issue in her life and it's had some serious consequences. It could have been much worse, but she's taken action and so, she has life experience which is really, really valuable.
I just want to find out as much as I can sort of with my platform. I was that close to getting sent in a young offenders unit.
Oh dear.
It went like too healthy for my mum and dad as well.
See, do you know what I mean when I said earlier, this American beauty model woman's come over and gone, you don't know what work is. They've been busy. Other things have happened that they haven't been able to just have the, should we say, expected regular start in life, which is applying yourself in school, because other things have gone completely chaotic in their lives. Bitch!
Loads of shit with me in the past.
Size of that
and they was just getting to that point that they was going to chuck me out and just wanted to get rid of me, get me locked up or something.
Literally trying to deal, imagine being like, why don't you know how to work? Oh, I'm sorry, I was busy dealing with the threat of homelessness at 14.
But she's also been someone who's modelled taking action to turn things around. So I think that actually is a very powerful standard to be, sharing with other people.
She's not just helped me with a platform, she's helped me with my own life as well. So
oh, good.
She's a nice lady.
Oh, we like a nice lady, don't we? Oh, nice ladies. Where would the world be without nice ladies?
The bins!
So Michelle has decided for them.
Oh.
Hello, girls.
Hello, girls.
Welcome to the Children's Adventure Farm. As you know, we are a charity, and what we do is we provide opportunities for children from all over the Northwest. We have animals, we have land, and then we've also got the kids to look after. Okay, so we are in the countryside, so there are obviously some rules that we must follow.
Oh, a nice wet look curl.
The first rule is no mobile phones, I'm afraid.
Why? I bet that rule's changed now. No, don't post this on social media. We don't want the exposure for our charity now.
It applies to either of you, but there's no smoking at the Adventure Farm at all.
Okay. Naughty. Stop being naughty. Stop it. We see you.
Just
naughty.
be mindful of the animals and don't startle them.
Oh, move it!
Don't startle the animals. Oh.
Ow, where's my breakfast?
They're just excited.
Are you sure? Elena has a confidence about her.
Oh, I love a quad bike.
That some of the other girls don't have. And while that's good in some respects...
Wait, what did she say?
Elena has a confidence about her that some of the other girls don't have. And while that's good in some respect, it helps you speak with some authority. It may work against her because she may have confidence in something that's not actually even there.
Okay, well, what do we call that? We call that bullying. So it's once again one of these things very similar to America's Next Top Model, where it's like, we're going to compliment this person, but then the thing that makes them strong is also their weakness. Oh dear. Naughty. I feel like if I was on this show, they would say something like,
Luxeria, she's very clever and smart, but she's also very clever and smart, and that will be her downfall.
And they'd be right.
Tell him to off.
Kiss my ass.
You can't tell the little sheeples to...
The girl who might ultimately really fail this challenge could be the one...
What is this lighting? Why is she being illuminated from down here? She's like, and there was a story to tell the woman. Like, why?
Not taken ownership of her cause at all and just has not engaged.
No.
That might very well be her
I
undoing.
feel like they're aiming for Nisha to go this week. We didn't meet her last week, and we haven't really met her again this week. We've learned a little bit more about her as a person, though.
Michelle's promised to create beauty queens that not only look good, but also...
De Benheim's dead now.
...the Miss Teen International Public Speaking Round.
Buying
They'll need to talk eloquently about their chosen platform, so to help them conquer this crucial challenge, Michelle's drafted in leading voice coach, CC Sammy.
Okay,
Sammy.
girls, to help you learn
Give
to
us a
speak
C.
a little more clearly and to project, we have brought...
Well, how does she do this hair? How is this, like this, she must, how?
Bump it up with station.
I can barely pull a ponytail together in like 10 minutes, so how can she be there and be like, I've got the bijou, pamplemousse, I've got the bumpet and the swoosh, I've got the goiter and the gouty.
Beautiful.
How does this work? What is this hairstyle called? I would like the...
Passion.
The what? What do you say at the salon?
And one of Britain's top
models,
voice coaches. Today she is going
Oh, look at all the shoes. Oh, I was very 2000s to team a sensible sandal with a boot-cut jean, isn't it? Yes.
to lend us her expertise to help you guys learn to speak like beauty queens.
Okay.
You know, the first thing I'll say is speech is absolutely incredible. I love the human voice because with the human voice, you can actually make people think whatever you want them to think about you.
Oh, dear.
Okay? Let's stand up. Good.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Stand
as
up.
Of now,
think about what you've done.
You guys need to think of yourselves as performers.
That's
true. So I'm going to give you a couple of sentences now, and you're going to speak those sentences back to me.
Put a wig on your biscuit.
So I'm going to ask you to say, what are we going to do?
What are we going to do?
You're going
What are we
to
gonna
put
do,
the
Gail?
emphasis on the word what. What are we going to do?
What are we going to do?
Now you're going to give me, oh, what a wonderful day.
Oh, what a wonderful day.
Again, oh, what a wonderful day.
Oh, what a wonderful day.
Right, a bit slowed out. Oh, what a wonderful day.
Oh, what a wonderful day.
I'm going to work you really hard today. You guys have to concentrate. We're not messing around. Yeah? This is a competition.
I'm telling you off in my lip gloss.
Oh, what a beautiful day.
Why are you looking at each other and laughing? Let's
because it's
listen to
not-
what Cece's saying and really try to apply it. So let's get a little bit more serious, all right?
It's not very British.
This is a competition,
Difficulty.
so we need to treat it as such. So let's concentrate. To avoid you distracting each other, this is what I want to do. Film all of you talking to camera, and then I want you to watch it back. Because I think if you look at it, you're going to see some of the mistakes.
Do you know, doing YouTube, one of the first things I had to very, very, very quickly move past was my discomfort at seeing myself on camera. And that took me years to really do. I didn't really come into my own until I would say I'd been doing it for about 4 years. And then I was like, I now do not feel nervous when I sit down and hear myself speaking or see myself speaking or see myself on camera. I don't feel nervous at all now. In fact, I'm thriving. But that was a skill I had to learn. Seeing yourself on camera back in this day was a kind of a rarer thing than it is now. Like, we have phones, you can literally see yourself on video calls immediately. Back in the day, it was not like that, so it was like, oh, how awkward. The music's like...
This really is new territory for the girls, because let's face it, we can change their appearance.
I'm telling you off in my earring.
Change how they speak. That's got to come from them.
We are posh.
Because we wear hoop earrings.
A hooped woman.
I can teach them what I know, but now they've got to take that on and project and put their words out there in a completely different ways.
I must say, though, in a similar vein to something we've seen on one of the other shows, I don't remember which one exactly it was. I'm sure it was something to do with British culture, though. They do like to try and take away, through elocution lessons, was ladette to lady. They love taking away the essence of dialect, because somebody from Manchester is not going to speak the same as somebody from Shropshire or from the southeast coast. It's not going to sound the same. And these vocal coaches quite often try to erase everything and make everything sound like a BBC newscast, a BBC regional accent. Welcome to Ready Steady Cook. Very that.
So this is new territory for them.
I don't like it.
I'm really worried.
They need to have some personality.
No.
Oh, I like that necklace.
That little red. Do it.
Pass bad lot.
Like this.
No, they talk like this.
See?
Pronounce every letter in their explanation, every sentence that they say, every word is pronounced.
The girls have plenty
She's
to
got
say
it,
outside
basically.
of the classroom, but can they fill 30
Do you know?
seconds when the pressure's on?
Right.
Straight into
my
the
God.
camera.
I bet that only filmed at 240p.
Hello.
Okay.
Farmer. And
Oh dear.
I
This looks like my outtakes.
After that lacklustre performance, it's time for urgent talks.
Absolutely awful.
Why don't you give them a demonstration?
So disappointed.
So do you think it's doable, or do we just...
At the moment, it's not doable. At the moment, we are in crisis. This is crisis.
Crisis,
At the moment,
girls.
they are in big, big trouble.
I know, I'm
Trouble
losing sleep.
in there.
Yeah.
Wigs.
Basically, they really need to step up the game because I think this is unacceptable. I think it's unacceptable. I can't believe with everything that you've done last week and with the ex-boots that they've come in here today with this attitude. It's outrageous.
This is a bit far. They've literally had like 3 days at this. I think it's a bit far to be like, this is outrageous behaviour. Like, outrageous. That's a strong... Outrageous is like a political scandal. Outrageous is some of the way that the police behave at protests. Like, giggling on camera is not outrageous behaviour. Oh! I was there in New York, yeah. Didn't
Each
see any
year in
yellow
America,
taxis
the
on
Miss
there.
Teen International Pageant attracts entrants from around the world.
Pageant!
Former beauty queen Michelle Fryatt has accepted the challenge of creating the first ever English competitor. But when living in the spotlight, beauty queens need to be confident, charismatic and sociable both on
They
and
all
off
look the
stage.
same.
Something the 8 UK
Where's the goth
contenders
one?
need to master quickly as they prepare for this week's public speaking
Right,
challenge.
where is this?
Based on what I've
Norwegian
seen this
Blue.
week, I have no idea how the girls are going to do tomorrow. And there is a lot at stake.
What is this framing
This
as
is
well?
a critical challenge. They could completely...
Almost as critical as the highlight under my eyebrow.
I really don't know.
Okay.
To help the
She
girls
doesn't
gain
know. She doesn't know,
self-assurance,
don't know.
Michelle sought emergency help from Jeremy Milne, but faced with 8 turbulent teens, even a top confidence coach can doubt his powers.
Right.
Regardless
Emergency
of
coaching
how
at the church.
I try to coach or guide them and give them tips and pointers on how to deliver a speech. If they haven't got the nuts and the bolts of the speech, then it's you know,
It's a very different show.
It's hopeless.
There's
They've got
something
to
about
have
ASBO
something
teens.
to apply, the tools that you give them, but
Exactly.
the content still has to be there so they can deliver it. I think
That's
this is
true,
what
and you
girls
are
know.
trying to also squeeze themselves out of themselves, so...
Okay, girls, as you know, on Friday, you are going to be asked a question about your platform.
Yes.
So you need to be prepared to answer a question no matter what it might be,
Yes.
right? So Jeremy...
Will you wear wigs?
Challenge that's going to test the depth of your knowledge as well as your ability to be an advocate for your cause.
Okay.
In pairs, we're going to go off.
Oh, it's like a school moment when you say, in pairs, go off, take your checkboard with you.
Into the town where it's a bit busier than it is here. You are going to go up to complete strangers. Present your platform to them. I'm going to be fairly close by, looking at your performance. and
No.
also-
No, I would be like, we're not
Anyone.
doing all
We're just
this.
stopping them in the street.
No,
talking
you won't.
about
I
our
promise you,
platform.
you won't.
What do we say? Excuse me, can I have a minute of your time? and
All
then-
right, try me. Okay, I'm walking along.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Get
Can I
fucked!
have a
That's
minute of your time,
what
please?
would happen.
accidents in the last 10 years.
And then that's where I get. That's where
And I go, yeah. Well, how can I help you?
And then what do I say?
What do you think you say?
I have to do a platform speech, whatever it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I need a minute of your time just to try and practice on you.
Perfect.
Okay, all right, that I
Well
did
done.
jump the gun a bit, that is quite soft.
I'm absolutely overwhelmed with your enthusiasm for this task.
I think.
Look at her hair again.
Your enthusiasm for this task.
I think
More from
I think
a
it's
pageant.
overwhelmed with fear and anxiety, actually. Come on, let's go this way. Let's go.
Come on, girls! Let's go, lesbians! Right, how is this going to work? Because the idea of talking to the British public about anything makes me feel visibly ill.
This is really going to put their confidence skills to the test. Seriously so.
Oh, he's very intense, isn't he?
And it will be very interesting to see how they rise to that challenge.
I just want to tell you about my platform, and it's about children heading towards gang culture.
I'm doing...
The thing is, I do wonder if perhaps they will think that they're actually trying to fundraise for the charity at the same time. People might have time to listen to someone speak about something, but a lot of British people don't like the idea of being stopped on the street to be asked for money. Even if it is for a charitable cause. It's very... British attitudes towards, like, street charity is very different than, like, British attitudes towards choosing to support a charity. I'm going to leave it there, because I might upset a few people, but I'm going to leave it there.
Francis House Children's Hospital. And what it is it's for children who are on, like, not got long to live.
It's a cause that builds up and produces more and more and more money. I'm doing a charity called Wood Street. Sorry, let me start that again. They help children and families who are struggling at the time being.
Well, this is the whole point. Practice.
And they... I forgot what I was going to say, sorry. Sorry about that.
No problem at all. All right.
Have a good evening.
And you, thank you. Some of these girls...
Is that man just like...
She stopped me and spoke to me about something, and now I have to leave.
Inwardly aren't as confident in certain areas of their life as they would like to be.
Yes.
Or as they show. But that's the key, you know, you don't go around telling people you're not confident.
Well, exactly.
You fake it till you make it.
No, act like you belong.
Make it better for them. And they care for, like, parents, say, like, they'll give the mums and dads, say, a massage if they're feeling stressed.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
I wish you luck with it.
You were the expert.
Like,
you were
I'm
in
leaving.
control of what you said. Maybe you want to think about playing with the pace a bit more.
How long have you been involved with this charity for?
About 2 days.
How long have you been involved?
Since yesterday.
Alright, cheers.
Like trainers, I've got them in black.
Ooh.
You were slightly fazed by the fact that it was two young guys, weren't you? Because, I'll tell you...
Yes, it's easier to speak to people who you aren't
this was
perhaps
you.
interested in.
Have you got a minute? Have you? Have you got a minute?
Honey, it's time to do your challenge.
Oh.
You're not gonna do it?
I think Nisha's going.
You sure?
I do want to say, I think something is going on with Nisha that we don't know. If she is really this tired and exhausted, and she even said earlier in the show from last night, like, we're clearly not being told a part about her story, because shy people quite often have, like, reasons why they're shy. As a shy person, that's what I feel like. And I feel like anyone here who's in the audience who would describe themselves as shy, there is generally, like, a reason as to why that might be. You might not share that with anyone, but I feel like if you do some introspection, you know why you're shy, even if you don't admit that to, like, other people around you. I know reasons why I'm shy, and I would still class myself as shy. I can function in public speaking events, I can function doing things that I'm not used to. I would still classify myself as a shy person. Perhaps not painfully shy, but a shy person.
Positive?
I feel like something's happening.
Nisha, we have this over-the-counter medication in America called no-dose. And I'm really tempted just to slip a couple into Nisha's drink of the day or whatever, her water bottle, because
No, madam, we're not drugging minors. We're not drugging minors to go to the pageant. That's dangerous territory.
Arrest her!
Right, what is this? No dose? Is it still available over the counter? No dose. What is that? No dose USA OTC. Oh, how funny! On December the 6th, 2022, no-dose maximum strength has been discontinued in the US. I see. What is it? Oh, I see. It's maximum strength caffeine tablets. Right, well, we're not doing that because caffeine is great. I'm a huge fan, but if you have too much, it doesn't provide you with more energy and get up and go. It just makes you exhausted and anxious.
Hey! There's no letting you off the hook here. You're not having the easy option. Everybody else has gone out on a limb here. Come on. Sit up a bit.
I don't think...
Can I introduce... In fact, Nisha,
hello.
Hello, I'm Nisha. What you're going to be doing.
And I forgot what I meant to say. I forgot. Oh, no way I'm not doing it.
Oh. Let's go back. That woman looks like she's just come off of What Not to Wear as well.
Oh my God.
Compose yourself.
Okay.
Go for it. Hey, you can do this.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
This man is like, what is this girl about to tell us?
Yes, you can. Everybody else is doing it. She's going to do this. And she is going to...
Do you know, I hate that attitude. Everybody else is doing it, so you can do it. Yeah, but maybe not everyone else has some reason as to why they can't. This idea, I feel like, isn't quite as practiced in this day and age because we are a little bit more open in the wider world and the wider conversation about neurodivergency. I'm not saying that Nisha is neurodivergent, but as a young teenager, if I was put into this situation, I'd be exactly as panicked. And if someone was behind me going, everybody else is doing it, you can do it, that would make me feel so much worse about why I was feeling this way. That's out of my control. Like, Nisha isn't choosing to feel this way, and everyone is behaving as if, well, everyone else can do it, why can't you? It's like, there might be a reason why that is. Oh, it is difficult to watch, isn't it? This is where I am like, okay, television from back in the day is so different to nowadays. I don't think you could force an under 18s teenager to do this now. I don't think you could. At least I hope you wouldn't.
Feel bad about herself if she goes home tonight and everybody else has done this and she hasn't.
Hello, I'm Nisha from Africa. Yesterday, I was just wanted to speak to you about something that I most feel strongly about, and it's called the Children's Urban Farm, and it's for children who like have close family and they've died, or disabled children who like have hard hearing or they're blind.
Sounds like a very good charity. I think I'd contribute to it, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, thank you. Nice to
Thank
speak
you
to you.
very much.
Bye.
Bye now.
So I feel like, although Nisha did really well there, I feel like they kind of just dropped her in the deep end and were like, bye. They could have provided an extra layer of assistance to help Nisha talk about her platform. They could have, in a way, had maybe like flashcards. Little bit of flash, like this is the first time they're ever doing something like this. Have a flashcard. Be like, oh, these are some key points that you should remember in order to keep the conversation flowing. Conversation and, in a way, this is kind of like salesmanship, is a skill that is learned over time. It's not something we're all born into. It's not something that you can necessarily pick up by diffusion or osmosis. It's something you have to work at.
Well, I suppose I could use a new hobby.
Why they didn't just give her a little flashcard and be like, just remember to talk from the heart and talk about these little things. That would have gone so far with Nisha there at helping get rid of some of that shyness that was perhaps standing in the way. Maybe not get rid of, like quieten it. If it's a voice, let's just mute it a little bit.
Now how do you feel about yourself?
I feel proud of myself. That's
Good. Say that again.
I feel proud of myself.
And so you should. I was pleased to see.
How do you feel? Proud! Be prouder!
Basic skills. They all have energy. They all have some personality.
Am I being soft? Am I like a big old softie? Am I like, okay, if someone is displaying characteristics that perhaps require a little bit more careful attention and an observation and a slightly different route of bringing their skills out, am I being a big old softie for being like, what you've just done to her is actually a little bit like rude and uncooperative? Rather than being like assistance to grow, you've been like, well, all the other flowers are growing perfectly fine. Why don't you have the nutrition to grow? Like, you wouldn't yell at a flower in your garden, would you? I don't know. He wasn't yelling at her, but like, that's how I felt. Because I would be like, stop yelling at me if that was me. Am I being a big old softy, ridiculous pantaloons?
Whether they can pull it off on the day when the pressure is on.
The pressure.
That's a very different
The
question.
pressure cooker. The rice cooker is beeping. The administrator is cheating.
It's the morning of this week's challenge, and the girls have got to impress.
They've got to wear a camisole.
These girls have chosen a
Look
platform
at the lighting.
that they're going to
Superior.
champion, and then they will be tested by being asked a question. And
have you ever seen a woman look more ochre?
Daytime tweed with an evening chiffon. And how they respond to this and what kind of depth they have when they answer will be very telling about
the pageant.
If they could potentially be Miss Teen England International.
Miss Teen England International. Oh, a
Michelle
salon.
won't be the only person exercising
Right, what's
critical
happening now?
judgment as the girls embark on their challenge. Joining her will be ace entrepreneur Duncan Bannatyne, a man who can spot a winner.
What won't impress me is anyone who bluffs or who hasn't done the homework or who doesn't really know the subject they're talking about, or who's really doesn't really seem to care.
Like you, perhaps, about trans people.
Third member of the elimination panel.
Oh, here she is.
I'm just really
outrageous.
hoping that today they're able to stand up and deliver something and start believing in themselves. I think
Okay.
if they don't believe in themselves and they don't walk in that confidence, that will let them down.
I want to go through, don't get me wrong about that, and I need to try. It's just trying to learn the questions and everything else and the answers.
See?
I think I've got
Nerve-wracking.
an idea what question they'll ask me. But if they don't, then
Caviar
I'm
salad's
messed
going to
up.
make her
I'm trying
laugh.
to go through all the questions.
Why
and
did they put
everything,
that shot
and
in?
It just ain't working. It's not staying in my head.
I was just sick in the toilet, but I think that was my nerves. I know what I'm saying. I think it's just getting all worked up about it, thinking, I'm going to say it right.
I'm tired, like I always am.
Huddle up, you girls. Come here. This is how Beauty Queen gets emotional. It's just important to me.
Oh, look at Ellen. She is a model in the making. Look at her, girls.
I know this is kind of freaking some of you out, and that's perfectly understandable, and trust me,
Okay.
everybody that's faced with something like this feels that way. Just
Okay.
speak from your heart and talk,
Yes.
okay?
First to
Here we go.
present her platform is 17-year-old Kerry.
Oh, my God, hang on a minute. Oh, no, that's not based in London, is it? I was like, oh, my God, is that what Madame Jojo's used to be? No, it's not really, is it? No.
17-year-old Kerry.
Right, we're going to hear their ages. 17-year-old Kerry.
Hey, Carrie. Hi. How are you?
I'm all right.
Little nervous?
What are those chairs?
Now, your platform, Carrie, is teenagers working against poverty.
Ooh.
And Duncan has your test question for you.
You visited the Wood Street mission, so tell me, how do organisations such as that help the poor?
It helps the poor by getting donations, sorting out clothes, shoes, cutlery, so they're not feeling, down because they are, they're just helps
You can
them
do it.
have their self-esteem a lot higher than having it low.
Oh. I think you did well for the first ever time. First ever.
I mean, the legs were going like this, so I had to move my legs around so it didn't look that bad.
Come on, Rachel, in your power suit.
Hey, Rachel.
Hello.
Your platform is teenagers against gangs. And Cece has your test question for you.
Come on, Sissy.
How would you convince a teenager involved in a gang to seek help?
Ooh. God.
I think I would talk to them and support them and reassure them that getting involved into a gang is wrong. And I would...
Oh, almost.
Sorry. And I would actually involve them into activities and bring them to youth clubs where they do sports and swimming and all
Showing
them sort of
yes.
stuff.
Okay.
Tell me about it.
I mashed up on one bit.
Okay.
That's great. One bit.
And then I
That's
it.
it.
I won't go back in there and do it better because I could have done better.
And Nisha, your platform is urban farms for city kids.
Right, okay.
How do city farms work to bring the community together?
Oh, come on, Nisha, you can do something.
Okay.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Stage fright.
Frozen.
After your experience, would you encourage other teens to get involved
poor
in this
Nisha.
charity?
Yeah, I would.
Do you think it's important?
I think it's important that to get other people to come to the urban farm.
I'm just going to pause it here because I can already tell the judges are going to be like, why hasn't she done any work? Why hasn't she done any of it? But this is a face of someone frozen in internal panic. And when that happens, the brain just goes empty, blank, nothing. It's like your ears can hear what's being said to you. No information is being taken in by the brain. There is a blockage happening somewhere, usually due to intense nerves or something. There's some hormonal cascade preventing functioning at this point. Probably adrenaline, to be fair. Oh, I really feel for Nisha. I've been in this situation.
Oh, really forgotten.
And to the outside, it looks like you're kind of mocking them because you're smiling. You do it with a smile on your face, but you're not actively happily doing this. It's like a panic response that you're like, what else can you do except smile and be like, I don't know what's happening. It's very Chicken Run. Dawn of the Nugget. Oh dear.
How was that?
Terrible.
No, not good.
Yeah,
Not
see?
good. Come and tell me why.
She's She knows. I know that feeling. And he's going to be like,
What
well, why didn't she tell me?
What are the advantages of introducing music into the lives of children with learning difficulties?
They're going to be able to teach music to the children their age, and they're going to be able to speak from their point of view or from their experience.
As Miss Teen International, how would you promote sport to help disabled?
To organise a charity and fundraising event so that teens of all ages and abilities can come to it.
How do you think anger management techniques would help vulnerable teenagers?
Well, we're speeding
I was fighting, getting in trouble with friends, close family, even the police. And then because of that, I got an ASBO, getting locked up in the cell. And it was getting to the point where I was heading to a young offenders prison, and even worse, my mum and dad was getting to the point where they didn't want to know me. So I know that anger management does help, because if it didn't, then I wouldn't be stood here now to tell the story.
And remember, earlier in the episode, the beauty queen, Michelle Pryatt, was like, none of these girls have ever worked. There's a reason.
Okay, come and tell me about it.
She did great.
Once you get up there, it just comes to you. I'm not saying it was hard for the others, but it was easy for me as well, because it was asking me questions about what I think and what I would do and stuff.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
I think she's got the right attitude.
I'm a volunteer and work on behalf of children's hospices.
I would plan a trip for teenage girls to go to a hospice like mine, Francis House, and maybe speak to some of the ill children and get to know them and, say, play with them for a while.
She was shocked at ill children.
Or maybe speak to their parents. But most of all, I think they should speak to the volunteers that are actually working there, because every penny counts in charities such as Francis House.
Interesting. I just want to point out here, we're having quite an earring display in this week's episode. All I can focus on is the earrings. Everybody's got, like, the most intense earring jewellery I've ever seen.
Also, without money, you can't have a hospice. And without a hospice, I don't feel that there will be as many happy children. Another thing, it's like a big machine, and each of them volunteers are a cog in that machine. Got a lot to say, Anne.
Okay, great job. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Couldn't shut me up.
They dressed her a bit like a
Elena,
barmaid
your
from the 50s.
platform is urban farms for city kids.
Right.
How would you convince a teenager to become a volunteer for this cause?
Right, come on, Kerry. Oh, Eleanor,
I would
sorry.
tell him that the more people who get involved, the more you'll make a child's life happier.
When you were visiting this charity, did anything happen? Anything negative?
Did you smoke there?
Did I what?
Did you smoke?
Did I smoke?
No.
No,
You didn't have a cigarette when you were there?
I don't smoke.
You don't smoke? Okay.
Okay, Elena. Thank you so much.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
She's a liar. You asked her if she
dear.
smoked.
Yeah.
She's had a cigarette in front of me. So, liar. She's a smoker.
But you answered them honestly?
Yeah, I answered them honestly.
Oh
Okay.
dear. Maybe there's some, like, family drama there. That didn't look good, did it?
The girls have a short but painful wait while the panel make their decision.
Now is the time. This is the moment of truth.
Yep.
I really need you guys to give me some feedback on each
Right, here
girl.
we go.
Passion was the most important thing, and that was there in spades. I just couldn't connect with her.
It's absolutely disgusting. She's not taken on this experience.
I was in pain watching her up there.
She did her very, very best, I'm convinced.
I feel that she did a pretty good job physically representing herself.
I've seen the progress
It's been a
that she's made.
I
tremendous
feel like they're going to say that about
Fantastic.
Nisha.
You really should have seen her at the start of the week.
You've given me a lot to think about, both of you. And it's pretty clear to me that two of these girls just seem to fall significantly below the pack. But
God,
I really think I know which one's going to be going home.
It's going to be Nisha, isn't it? And it's going to be for a storyline of like, it's because you didn't apply yourself.
But the worst is yet to come.
God, the worst is yet to come,
Elimination.
girls.
I think it's going to be hard this week to decide who's going.
Everybody is bothered because everybody come into this competition thinking, I want to win this. And
The
nobody likes
lighting in
being
this
a
show
loser,
is
do they?
questionable choices. All right, here they are. Miss Teen Office
Hi,
International. Bon Marché.
As you all know, this week's challenge has been about selecting
Peacocks.
a platform and becoming a champion for a cause.
Yes.
And
I
some
think
of
Pavia's
you,
gonna
I
win
applaud. You've really,
the episode.
really embraced this challenge.
And Nisha's
Others
gonna go
of you, not so much.
Oh God, the music.
Laura, your platform has so much more power than I think you even realize. Because you've lived your platform, I think you might have what it takes to be a teen beauty queen.
A teen wig.
Congratulations, you're moving through to next week. Rachel, you are this little package of charisma. And when you speak, people pay attention. Your problem is, I don't think you believe in yourself. But overall, you are moving through to next week.
Okay.
Carrie, we as a panel really feel like you worked hard on behalf of your cause. You're moving through to next week.
Okay, right. Oh, goodness.
Ellen, you might very well have what it takes to be a teen beauty queen. Congratulations, you're moving forward to next week.
No critique at all.
Ashley,
you're safe.
You did a really nice job. You might have what it takes. You're moving through to next week.
I think her hair needs a bit more volume than what they gave her. I wouldn't suggest quite a bump it, but still.
Pavia, you two surprised me this week. We were all completely convinced that you believe in this platform.
Yes.
I feel personally that it has really touched your heart. And you clearly show that when you speak about it.
Yes.
So we're moving forward to next week.
Oh, oh! Oh no, they don't release the winner just yet, do they? They don't announce them. Oh, here we go.
I was disappointed in you this week because you were very apathetic about this challenge.
I don't think she was apathetic,
you
I think she was
know
guarded.
that when you came up here to talk to us about it, you struggled to even find words at all. Elena, we as a judging panel also did not really feel convinced that you really cared about your platform, and that's frustrating.
Yeah, that was the one that was assigned
I agree
to
with
them.
you.
I have to be looking for the girl who is the best equipped to be Miss Teen International. And Nisha, I just do not believe you have what it takes. I'm sorry.
Wig tea. Oh, Nisha.
Michelle said that I didn't show much interest in this week and she was really disappointed in me. I didn't put much effort in my platform and obviously other people did, that's why they got through. I can't wait to get home to go and sleep because I need to go and get my beauty sleep.
So that's put Nisha's ambitions to bed, but Michelle's still to crown this week's winner.
Because of her commitment to her cause, this week's Teen Beauty Queen
is Pavia.
Pavia.
Yes! See, to the surprise of no one, even though she almost went home last week. Oh my goodness, have this giant bouquet and a wig.
I knew Pavia was gonna get it this week because she's put in a lot of effort for this challenge. So I'm proud of her, you get me?
Maybe she felt like she had a lot to prove.
I definitely feel like it's a platform I would take forward to Chicago if I went, because it comes naturally to me. Seeing the children and seeing them in difficult times and their parents, and seeing that there is some people out there that are trying to make a difference in the world, makes me want to be one of them people.
That's a very
These girls have
clever
never been
and
given
good thing to
this
say.
kind of opportunity. And 2 weeks ago, I was so depressed. I just thought, I've got nothing to work with. I've got nothing to mentor. And I look at these girls today and say, wow.
You've never met British children.
These girls into real potential beauty queen delegates. And that's amazing.
That is amazing, isn't it? Yes. Oh, look!
In 4 weeks, one of 7 pageant pretenders will represent her country in the USA as the
Where's she
first
going?
Miss Teen
Bye.
England International. The question is, which one?
Is that the end? Oh, stop. I've got some thoughts, my loves. I've got some thoughts. What an interesting episode this was. I am a bit torn about this episode because on one hand, I feel like it was a great way of teaching these girls skills that perhaps can be transferable outside of a pageant. Or maybe like holding yourself with confidence, but I feel like you would get so much more benefit how to accurately communicate an idea to a room full of people you don't know, and also how to hold yourself with confidence whilst you're speaking about something that you really enjoy. Love that. I really love that aspect. I think everyone on the planet could use that skill. I feel like that should be taught in schools. 100%. However, the way that they treated Nisha in this one does give me a little bit of like the ick. Okay, yes, maybe Nisha is completely like neurotypical. Maybe she is just tired and shy. Like, okay, we can package that up and move that on. I just felt like if there was a reason why she was shy, them saying things like, you're not applying yourself, you're not doing well, you're purposefully making this difficult for everyone, and then you're smiling at us, is not an encouraging way to get someone to blossom into someone that you feel is self-confident, can talk about a topic they love, can approach strangers on the street and go, hello, Madsen, what do you get? Do you like this far, my dear? As someone who was painfully shy and would now describe themselves as shy, when I was growing up through school, 16, 15, 14 years old, I would always get the report back on my, like, behavioural report card, whatever you want to call it. Oh, Luxeria is great, but she does need to come out of her shell. She does need to apply herself more often. She does need this, she does need that. And it's like, actually now, as an adult, I'm actually very accomplished, and I would consider myself quite successful. I'd consider myself a success story coming from someone who was so lost, confused, upset, downtrodden as a child, to now being who I am now. I've got a first-class degree in biochemistry. I have a successful business. I have a successful YouTube channel watched by millions of people around the world that literally involves essentially an aspect of public speaking. I'm incredibly creative. I do all of my editing myself. I'm now taking on another avenue in my business plan, which is incorporating worldwide travel into my content. If you'd have told me this at 17, 16 years old, I would have been like, no, stop it, no. Because I was painfully shy. And now through the era of growing up and understanding how my body and my brain reacts to the world through actively having diagnoses, through actively being able to manage my emotions and manage the way that my brain works, I've actually had quite a successful outcome. And I saw none of those skills ever advertised to Nisha in this episode as a possible answer. And that's why I have conflicted feelings about today's episode, my lovelies. But with that, my loves, let me know what you think about what we've seen in today's episode. I cannot wait to see episode 3, and I hope you're all very excited as well, because the pageant, girls! We're going to be halfway through the season in the next episode. The pageant! And with that, my lovelies, it's time for the Patreons. You can see yourself scrolling past on the screen here. Yes, you can. And today's Instagram shout-out goes to In the Tiny Dirt Somewhere. Thank you for following me over on Instagram, you stunning women on the go. If you want to be in with a chance of being featured in my next Instagram shout-out, in my next video, make sure you follow me on Instagram. It is xxluxeria. I post travel content, LGBT content, and fashion content over there, my lovelies. And as always, I want to say a massive thank you to my top tier Patreons: Orkos Samoji, Ariadia X, Becky Johnson, Beebles32, Shell Herman, Christy Crownover, Christina Kyle, ContraPoints, Elizabeth Stone, Emily Worsham, Eric Castillo, Finn Dunham, Jen Martin, Caitlin Wright, Larissa Says Relax, Leanne Jones, Les Banana, Min Mintier, Mariah Sherman, Miss Kiss, Novembrix, Paola Rivera, Ryan Vita, Stefutech, The Chaos Collective, and Vicky Walsh. And you know what, my lovelies? I'm gonna leave it on the note of, if you know someone painfully shy, don't take them being shy as an attack on you. Sometimes things are just going on that we don't know about. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Yeah.